Hi everyone, I'm Tina, the Creative Guru with Gems, Paper, Scissors. And for this week's worth of our 52-week project for 2026, I am using up the last of that Exploring Nature workshop kit. I have done the 3 layouts already, and now I am just using up some scraps, right? So I've added 2 sheets of our cloud cover for our base. And then I am literally, this was a piece that I cut in half. That's a scrap from the previous layouts. I've pulled from my stash a scrap of the natural textures or natural hues textured specialty paper that we used last month. This was a leftover from the workshop kit that I trimmed down with a wonderful punch. And this was a scrap. This was a scrap. Almost all of this is just using up what I already had from the workshop kits. And what I did add is some scraps from the paper pack. So this is the paper pack that coordinates with the scrapbook workshop kit, and I went on ahead and picked up a packet of that at the same time that I ordered the workshop kit so that I could work on cards for all of March. And so without further ado, I am going to grab my adhesive and start getting this tied down. I have some stickers left over from the workshop kits, and I think I've used up all of the die cuts. I could use my dies from February's lit cards and make some more cuts, and I might do that, but I don't think I am. I think I'm just going to use up a bunch of scraps. Okay. I don't think I'm choosing to use a lot of new items. So it is just popping this together. I'm going to go ahead and kind of square this in. And then again, this was a 2-inch by like 6-inch scrap that I cut down into 3 because I thought it would help spread the color across the 2 pages. Like so. And then here, I think I'm going to use some of my handy dandy got some linen thread hanging out on my desk. And I think I'm going to use to make this pop just a little bit like this. Going ahead and tie some of that down. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll go towards the center. Tie up some here just to get that going. Wrap this around a couple of times. Not necessarily flush on itself because I want that visual texture. Like so. We're going ahead and get that attached down. Grab my snips and then trim that off like so. But basically, I'm using scraps and things that are literally laying around on my desk. Okay, I'm not going to complicate this at all. This because the thread, I think I am going to raise it up off of the base a little bit and help support that. I'm probably putting way more adhesive down than I need. Nothing unusual about that for me, mind you. And I'm going to go ahead and use the side of my dimensionals to help give that the support that I want, and use up some of that extra adhesive, because why not use it? It comes together really nice and works well. So okay, with that, I'm going to pull up all of the backing. Normally I just toss that underneath my desk in my recycling bin, but I think my husband forgot to bring in the empty bin. He did me a huge favor since I have been battling this head cold from Crazy Land, which is why this is not being shown as live. It is being shown as a recording because I am playing catch up from missing a couple of weeks of being very, very not feeling good. So that's that. Okay. You will always get your 52 weeks. How it shows up may be played around with. Sorry, but life happens. So I'm going to take that scrap and attach it here, like so. And let's see. Let's add some more color to the sides. If you want the measurements for this particular layout, let me know. But really, I'm just trying to inspire you using what you have on hand. When you finish a kit, there is so much left over that you really can, as you can see, make another 2-page layout for your 52 weeks. So you're not having to get a kit every 3 weeks. You can get a kit every month or less. Depends on how you disperse the paper, what changes you make, and whatnot. Okay, so I have 3 photos. They are not a hike this week, folks. I stayed home that week. I took care of the property, and like I said, I haven't been feeling terribly great. So that particular week, I was just doing an at-home family week. So I only have 3x3 and 3x4s on my desk, so I will grab some of my 4x6 flip flaps. I have a great big huge container of flip flops and page protectors and all of that from over the years. Oops, no, that's not what I need either. I know I've got 4x6s around here. Done my 5x7s, but not my 4x6s. Okay, so before I make my video showing you how I get this into my album, I will dig out my 4x6 page flip flaps so that I can install that. They are going to go on top of my page protector for this one because I am not going to be able to tuck it behind, and that is okay. Okay, I am going to add these little leaves that were left over just to help make this stand out. And then kind of making a mess of it. And then I'm going to grab this leaf and calm it down and overlay that. And I think that pulls some really nice color across. And then for down here, I am going to put explore, because although I did not go anywhere, no, actually, let's do best view with an arrow. So pull this arrow because it pulls that nice color across. And we're going to point it up to my garden space because the best view is from home. Okay, then we will tag that. And let's actually change that out. Let's do best view there because that one's a bit bigger. I almost put leave it better than you found it because when my husband and I bought, oh, that's fun, bought this property, the previous owner had left so much stuff in the yard and on the property. We did over 10 drop boxes, several dump runs, tons of metal recycling and junk recycling, and buy nothing gifting, and there were over 68 tires in this area. Half of them still had their rim on them. So yeah, leaving it better than how I found it would have been totally appropriate. But I think I'm going to leave it at this, and I think this is absolutely gorgeous. What do you think? Nice way to use up some scraps from a workshop kit. Oh, no, this looks a little too naked. Let's go ahead and use, remember I've been using the 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls. They're kind of flat. So let's go ahead and add those. I've got take my pick tool. It currently has my craft knife on it. So let's unscrew that and attach my putty so that I can twirl that up. You can see the putty coming up just a wee bit right there. And then I only have 2 big ones. So we're going to go on ahead and do 1 big one in the middle over here. 1 big one in the middle over here. Then let's go ahead and do 2 medium ones, kind of pretending that it is like the binder ring holes. And this helps pull the eye across to coordinate the darker colors in this layout on that light cloud cover. And there we go. That helps actually finish pulling the eye across. I love it. Until next time, keep on crafting and find your joy. Bye-bye for now.